cheers, and enjoy the beers. Scorchio! Yes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are and whenever you're watching this. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, over a week. Welcome back. With me, a Disco, coming at you with some live beer reviews from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, or I'm still hotly calling the Disco Arms. Yeah, bit of a hot one, and I haven't done a stream for over a week. Things and stuff, life got in the way, etc. And I did think to myself yesterday, is it too hot for a stream? Will anybody be in? Or is everybody out enjoying the sunshine, or the last of the setting sun, as it were? And as I speak, everybody must be, because no one's in. So just going to be me talking to myself, unless you're watching this after the event. And if you are, thank you very much indeed, and keep watching. Let us know in the comments below and all that jazz if you watch after the event, just so I know what's going on. Not that I ever know what's going on. Got a late start as always. Oh, hang on. Pressed the wrong button there. I've lost you. Yeah, late start as always. Been a really hot day. Never got any streams away in the last week, apart from last week's stream with those beers up there. Finally got the write-up done for that on Instagram today, because they weren't particularly, I don't know, I always try not to do like kind of negative kind of beer reviews, like even written ones, over on Instagram, mainly because I'm tagging the brewery, and it's easier just not to put the review up, really. I only tend to write about positive stuff because I want to be positive about beer and encourage other people, get information out to other people, I suppose. And putting negative beer reviews doesn't necessarily do that or help the brewery, unless it does help the brewery that they maybe need to know about this stuff if the beers aren't that good and they can improve and do better next time. But generally I don't put negative beer reviews up because I've got into this little pattern of putting the beer reviews up as written beer reviews afterwards on Instagram. I kind of feel I have to put it up warts and all. Don't know if people like it. I don't know if people even read what I write. They just look at the pictures, I think. But here we are. This is what I do. Here we are. Mr. Wilson, thank you for popping in. Hope you've had a good week, good last weekend. Hope you out with a beer or two, and maybe as usual. I'm in with a beer or three, just because, didn't have anywhere particular to go tonight, so I thought get a couple of beers. And yes, I know I'm wearing a hat, but it's soaked in cold water, so hopefully try and keep a little bit cool. Let me know the sound quality, because I've got the fan on over there keeping my legs cool. In my shorts, don't happen very often, but if the sound quality is all right and you can't hear the fan, I'm going to keep it on to keep cool and move fairly swiftly into the first beer of the evening, because that's what it's all about, live beer reviews, with beer number one, please. Oh, nearly missed. Right, beer number one. These are all they're nothing to do with the sun. They're just vaguely, theoretically, sun-related sort of thing. And this one is from a favourite brewery of mine, features quite a lot, up from a Yorkshire, a Turning Point, as I'm sure you all know. And I think that looks like an exploding sun on the can, or it does to me, the usual kind of sci-fi sort of artwork on the can. It's called the Endless Lantern, which I guess the sun kind of is, isn't it, really? If you think about it, what's the word I'm looking for? Tenuously, definitely tenuously. Let's get it into a glass and see what we find. I still haven't got a replacement Turning Point glass, so it's into the McCall's one. Kind of befitting, it's from up north, isn't it? So it's an oat pale ale, which makes me wonder why it's come out so kind of clear and light. That's kind of weird. I was expecting it to be kind of hazy, but on the screen, plenty of carbonation racing out the glass that the camera just picks up. lots of it. I don't think that's even a nuclear pint glass, but yeah, very fizzy, very bubbly, very new. Picked this up with the custard beers this year, which would have been beginning of May, I think now. Usually do end of April, beginning of May. Yes, fair reminder. I'll get onto that in just a second. I'm going to let the head dissipate a little bit. Whether or not anybody's fed up with me talking about Turning Point or not, I don't know, but I quite like the beers. I quite like finding their stuff. I'm not necessarily so fussed on their pale ales generally. I don't think I looked at the hop lineup for this one when I bought it. It was just, let's get a pale ale. And the fact it had oats in it kind of intrigued me a little. So I thought it might be add a little soft dimension to any of the hops that they've put in it, whatever they might be. I'll find it out in a minute because I'm fairly certain they always list the hops on the cans, if not on the website. So we'll find out whether I've taken a chance and got done over. Not really done over because we know I believe Turning Point to be a decent purveyors of pale ale, even if I don't always agree with their hop lineup. So we should find that out in a minute. Massive ice creamy foamy head on that. It isn't actually dissipating that much. So I'll do the photograph anyway, I think. Thanks for the reminder as always, Mr. Wilson. Are you out and about enjoying the sunshine or inside with a beer? If you've got a beer on, do let us know what you got. Always good to see what other people are drinking. Bit of a rush lineup this tonight. I wasn't sure what to do. I've got some lined up for tomorrow as well, which will end up also being sun themed because it's the theme, isn't it? Everybody can identify it being a fucking Scorchio, and I have to put the laptop down there because there's a little bit too much light bleeding onto that sun and reflecting. And this half light, but just about light enough to get a reasonable picture. He says, I think. No, that's terrible. Well, terrible. The sun doesn't really come out on that. That was awful. That was okay. We're there. We're good. Let's see how we get on with the beer, shall we? So the spoons earlier. Lovely air conditioning in the spoons. Yes. Back home on a Cloudwater Yachats, our West Coast Pale. Fair play. I was in the spoons yesterday. Put a little review up of a very nice beer from Twickenham. I'm kind of a big fan of, although I don't get to them very often. More traditional kind of bitters and pales, but I had a really nice one with something called Full Lotus. They're made with lotus hops. Never heard of lotus hops, or if I have, I've completely forgotten about them, so I know nothing about them. But it's a very nice tropical kind of pineapple cube, kind of bit of mango, very tropical kind of fruit. That hat's awful, man. It's stretching as well. It's not good. Got to have a hat on because the hair's all over the fucking place, as always. Right, anyway, so yes, here we go. Beer number one, a Turning Point Brew Co. from Knaresborough in Yorkshire. 4.7% oat pale. Let's see what we get. It's there is very still ice creamy float type note, but let's have a look. A little bit of a sniff. There's a big kind of sherbety little note on the nose. Suggests it's going towards grapefruity type, marmalade type sherbet. Also a little bit of tropical in there. Not too bad. Let's see how we get on. Cheers. Cheers. Ouch. I think I've got bitten in the sea hop a little bit there. Sharky, good evening, sir. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you've had a good week. So it's been a while. David Wilson likes Twickenham beer. Yeah, there's fairly spoons regulars. Yeah, inside, buildings, not really in homes that much, apart from massive expensive ones that can afford air conditioning for the 4 days a year that we need it. So it's getting a bit like that now. So I've got the fan on. Hopefully you can't all hear it. Or some say be drowning me out, so it'll be right. I thought you'd been drinking smoke beers since you are dealing with the hot weather. Yeah, not quite onto smokiness yet. Yes, I've gone sun, vaguely sun related. The endless lantern, a sun, kind of on the can. So got some stuff coming up about that actually. Funny enough, from Turning Point, saw a beer. They had. I'll come up to that in a minute. Come back to that in a second from Turning Point, and also Perivale. Yeah, I think I've got a little bit bitten in the sea hop area for this one. There is some Citra in there, I think. I'm fairly certain. It feels like there's a bit of Citra because it's all right, actually. It goes towards grapefruit. It's a bit like Disco King. And Disco King is a grapefruit-heavy Citra beer that I can tolerate on the palate. This one is tolerable. It goes charging towards grapefruit and it kind of gets pulled back by the oats. So it's got a fairly soft pillowiness. It's got much more hazy on the settle. Which is a good thing. It's kind of grapefruit. There's a little bit of pineapple in there. It's certainly juicy. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to call it refreshing because it's got a little bit of dankness on the edges as well. Yeah, it's what I keep saying about beers. Every brewery will chuck a bunch of sea hops at a beer and they all come out roughly the same, different variances of grapefruit. I like the oats. The oats make it a bit more smoother. It's pretty good, but oddly, yeah, not too much to say about it, really. I don't dislike it. It's nice. It's got the fruitiness to it, but yeah, it's going to get danker. So I'm not raving about it, but it's perfectly reasonably drinkable. Yeah, like I say, you all know me, my love of hating grapefruit in beers, but it's a sort of, it charges towards grapefruit. There's a little bit of grapefruit marmalade kind of thing there. A sparkle of other fruits, and then it's kind of reined back a little bit by the oats. So I'm drinking it because I've opened it, and I'll be damned if I'm wasting it. Yeah, there you go. You knew what I was going to say. That was my next comment. Need some lemonade just to bring that citrus back, and then it'll be perfectly fine. I'm not going to go and get the lemonade. I didn't set that up. It's like there is a little bit of citrus in there. There's a little bit of sherbet lemony thing going on with that sherbet, so it's not out and out earthy kind of lemon, earthy kind of grapefruit notes. It's not grapefruit pith particularly. It's a bit of grapefruit marmalade, good sticky kind of sweetness. That's what I say with a grapefruit marmalade. But yeah, it's a little bit dank on the back edge that kind of doesn't really suit my palate, really. It's cold, drinkable enough. Let's have a look. See whether I've just smashed myself around the face with a grapefruit beanbag hop-wise. It's not that. Made a very, very dank grapefruit heavy beer Monday and Tuesday. Another double brew in the big tank. And it's a beer, even my own brewery, I don't really drink without lemonade because there's just too much grapefruit and dankiness in it. But there you go. Can't love everything, can you? Let's see what Turning Point say about this beer. Right from the off, they're upfront about it. They're not messing about. It contains hop varieties, Citra and Sabro in various forms. Can have too much Citra. Whole leaf, T90, BBC and Cryo. I don't know what BBC is. Can't say I've heard of that one. all of those terms. I mean, obviously, I know what whole leaf is. I'm aware of T90, that's your hop pellets, and cryo is a kind of intense form of citra. But yeah, a high percentage of oats provides body smoothness and a perfect platform for hops to shine. Well, they've hit the mark on that, I suppose. Yeah. Best before, whilst we're talking about regular stuff, the 25th of August, 2025. So bang in date. Yeah, no idea. It says BBC. In capital letters, whole leaf, T90, BBC, and cryo. Must be another form of like, don't know. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's see what the internet says. BBC hop. That's not going to be a good thing to Google because what I'm going to get is a load of Pathway News stuff on the BBC. Right, here we go. Good old AI. Good old AI. Whether it's right or not is another matter. But this here is what it says when you type BBC Hop Edition. BBC Hop Edition likely refers to the BBC Pure Hop Pellet product developed in collaboration with Boston Beer Company and processed by Barhas. These pellets are designed for high efficiency and flavour intensity in brewing, particularly in dry hopping and late boil additions. I thought that's what T90 did. There you go. BBC from Barhas. There we go. Just think of it as a super T90, say T90 added. I mean, it's an interesting, like a bit of brewer skill, adding different hop variations at different times. But you sort of, why do you need all of them? It behaves very much like the T90 pellet, but offers additional benefits and help that can help make your brewing great. If it's citra. The pure hop pellet is a finer ground, soft pellet that offers lupulin-rich fraction combined with best part of the whole hop to deliver a more intense hop flavour. Great for dry hopping. So it's still a pellet, it's just a more intense hop pellet. Well, there you go. Who says a beer isn't educational? Let's see if we get the same info. Or pawns. Big, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Sounds BBW, but yeah, no, it's a different one. Doesn't make sense. Depends on how you use it. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I suppose if you use the whole hop in the boil and then T90 in the whirlpool and then you got the other dry hop additions. Yeah, I don't know enough. I'm aware of the concepts, but I don't know enough about the science of different hop additions. But it's interesting to learn these things. 4 different types of hops in the beer. Almost too much for me. But like I say, that those oats kind of rein it in a little bit. But there's that bittery dankness on the very back end that I'm less fussed about, less keen on. But yeah, this is what Turning Point do. They do some interesting things in beer. Some good. I mean, the pale ales. They're very happy to be chucking a bunch of hops at a beer. I don't very often pick up their pale ales so much as I prefer the adjuncty stuff, and stouts and stuff like that. I did see one of them today that kind of amused me and intrigued at the same time because yesterday they shared this, or rather this morning they shared this on their Instagram. Oh, that's not the one I was looking at. Oh, and it's on their story. Anyway, yeah. So a little plant. I don't know if you can see the writing there, but can you guess from that what the plant is? Jimmy, good evening to you. Hope you're doing all right. Have a good week and a beard up, or necessarily beard up, whatever. Or not having a beer at all. That's fine. Yeah. So Turning Point come out with this little plant. It's called a sweet woodruff. Goes into a beer. That they're making. Very unusual. It's kind of a low growing ground dwelling plant. I'm not sure what they're going to use it in as such. It might just be a pale ale, but it's funny, Shark, you should mention smoked beers because I've just had a woodruff beer. We made one at Paravel. Put it on the week after. It was only just, I wasn't quite available when Dave Horsham came off, I think. Woodruff wheat lager. Very interesting story. It wasn't meant to be a lager, but we went with it on the brew day, and then he came up with the boss came up with the idea of adding this sweet woodruff, which goes in fair abundance around the brewery, in the courtyards even. So he picked it when it was fresh grown, dried it in a box for a couple of weeks, and it comes up really, really pungent, kind of woody, a bit smoky, and it's Turning Point now a little bit kind of cinnamon-like. Certainly a bit herby and quite floral as well. So I'm really kind of looking forward to see what they do with this beer. So you can make tea with it and like coffee and stuff. So yeah, woodruff, another foraged ingredient. So I'm looking forward to see what Turning Point do with their woodruff. And I don't think we might coincide and see if I can save a can of the woodruff lager and maybe compare the two. Will be interesting. Some unusual flavors, like odd adjuncts and unusual flavors. Did an entire stream about that the other week. It's not a particularly out there one. It's just another foraged plant. See what it does. Apparently it's very German. They normally make it into like a syrup and add it into the beer afterwards, certainly in like Berliner Weisses and stuff, apparently. Oh, good man, sir. Yeah, a little Wednesday, whack yourself Wednesday. Fair play. Hope you're having some good beers. Let us know what you got on. Yeah. I'm on sort of a bit of a hot bomb by Turning Point. I hope pale. Yeah, it's kind of coming down. Nice bit of lacing on the glass. Good head development. Quite well carbonated, but not fizzy, particularly. Getting a bit more sugar, kind of sherbet lemon type sweetness and kind of pineapple cubes and a bit of grapefruit marmalade. Not my favourite, like palate wise, but it's been in the fridge all afternoon, so it's kind of cold and wet, but a little bit too dank for me to be properly refreshing. I'm gonna finish that off. To be fair, move on up. I think it's a good, well-made beer showcasing all those different types of hop varieties. So Turning Point had done that well. Doesn't really suit me particularly, but nice enough. Cheers. Yeah, big on the grapefruit on the finish. So sort of, just okay, really. I found a load of beer which I didn't know I had, so I'm having a bit of a session. Bonus beer. It's just like sort of winning the beer lottery, isn't it? It's like, well, where do they come from? Better drink them. I sort of don't have that problem. I've got a lot of beer in the stash. I probably remember all of it because it's only in the one place. I've just got to try and get through it. We're up to show 88, believe it or not. Knocking on 100. Had an idea the other day. I'm thinking, if I can get through the next 10 shows in fairly short order, if I can do 3 a week, I'll get to show 100 by the beginning of July. Might be the first week of July, and then I don't know. Got a few ideas for a 1,000 sub special I mentioned the other day. A good friend of mine suggested I do a can of Carlin, and I don't think that'll be the case. I might do that anyway. Who knows? Do some interesting beers, some slightly out there beers, maybe. I don't know. Let me know if you've got any suggestions for something a bit daft, a bit different. like I say, I want to get through the Stouts show. Lord knows I've got enough draft and different beers in there that I should probably get through. Robinson, we're doing a Buxton, but yeah, I saw that. I sort of held off a little bit because I was aware they were doing that. So I might do that next week. I don't think I can sort of join in with theirs on Friday because I'll probably be up the road. So whether I watch theirs and then do the 4 I've got, well, don't watch theirs, then do the 4 I've got and go back and watch theirs. I'm not sure. I'll see what happens on Friday and where I actually end up. Do a special brew. That's no better than Carlin, is it? Yeah, I could do a daft stream like that of Carlin special brew and hang on. Give me an idea there. Yeah, let me work that one out. That's going to be different. Yeah. That's a different, that could work. Anyway, moving on. Let me think about that one. I've just had a brain fart or a brain wave. I don't know. But anyway, beer number 2, please. Let's move swiftly on to that. Beer number 2, probably you can tell from the branding, we're staying in Yorkshire. Moving just a little bit up the road to Vocation. This is like that a couple of weeks ago. After trying a supermarket Vocation and really kind of enjoying it, or Dragon Soup. Well, as I said on the stream the other week, I got that when I was wandering around B&M the other day. I picked up that hooch equivalent of Dragon Soup called Soup a Hooch. Well, there you go. I'm not sure. I need to. I don't know at any point I'm going to need to drink. Now, I've got a Dragon Soup in, actually. It's the lemon one. Whether that comes up or not. Yeah, that's all good ideas. That's a possibility. Maybe that's show 99. Maybe, yeah. 1,000 sub special and show 100. Maybe show 99 is something a bit stupid. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. That's all good ideas. Keep them coming. I like that. He's not in tonight, I don't think, but big thanks to Simo the other day at the weekend. Sent me another disco beer idea. As it happened, it turned out I'd already had that on Disco Day last year, but I was pleased to get recommendations and or suggestions of disco beers. I know Dave Wilson always tries to let me know, and so does Adam at Mersey Beers. Adam at Mersey Beers, of course, in Australia at the moment. Saw bits of their stream at the weekend, but Ken, I was mostly up the brewery, and it was a very busy one at the brewery on Saturday because we had an event on, so I didn't really get to see much. Let's get this in the glass. Like I say, from Vocation, so I've been featuring them a little bit recently, just because I got some beers in from them. This is another double IPA. I've got 2 double IPAs from them. I sort of avoided them in the supermarkets just in case. I don't think this one is on the shelves. So, if you think about supermarket IPAs, we shall see. Another one, much hazier. This one, can't see any carbonation, but again, big bubbly head going on, and yes, it does look a little bit grapefruit heavy. Again, I can't remember if I read the hop profile. There was one I didn't go for, and I may have just gone for the other one and taken a gamble. Paul, cheers for popping in. Family's ales and lagers and home brews. Thanks for popping in. I'm just going to pop off and do the photograph whilst I remember. I've done my mind up. Yes, does look rather grapefruity. Silver can is going to be difficult also to photograph and get in focus, but too much on the reflexione. But let's try this. You need to get a better camera that can work in the half light as we are now. Just won't focus. Okay, first one's not too bad. But yeah, it does look bright. It does look kind of more orangey on camera, I think on naked eye, it's very much more grapefruit juice coloured, very much lighter. It comes up a bit orange in the photograph anyway. That photograph doesn't really represent the beer as we see it on camera, because in this one it looks, as Shark has just said, a bit like double grapefruit. Still got a bit of grapefruit in my mouth, so it probably won't matter a lot. But here we go then. So from Vocation, moving on up, being a double IPA, 8%. It's called Aoraki. I think that's Maori. I think that will be New Zealand. Certainly a very New Zealand-like landscape. Is that maybe a pink? I thought that was a sun. I think that might be a pink grapefruit, which has just suddenly worried me slightly. I head dissipating a lot now. Definitely a very New Zealand mountain, lakeside kind of scene going on. I think I remember looking at one that was New Zealand hops, and it filled me with dread a little bit. And normally I quite like New Zealand hops, so let's see where we go. I'm hoping for lots of tropicality on this one. Let's have a look at the sniff first of all, see whether I've made a dreadful mistake or not. No, not too bad. Nothing particular. Again, it smells softer, like there's a bunch of oats in it, and the body kind of supports that, I suppose. It's turning a bit darker now behind. It's very one of those ones that's kind of odd in different lights. Looks nice in the glass. See on the screen there, I don't know why I'm pointing at my own screen, but on the screen it looks really light in grapefruit juice. From behind it in a different light, and what I've just seen taking the photograph in that light, it looks much more orangey. It actually looks much more appealing on that photograph. Does that come up? Camera. See on the picture, yeah, it looks much more orange in that light, and that is reflecting on that picture. Whereas here, in front of me, yeah, looks much lighter. Anyway, enough waffling and worrying about the grapefruit. Let's dive in and find out. Cheers, all. There's a little bit more grapefruit now. It's settled a bit. Anyway, what can you do? Cheers. Oh. Okay. Well, that's odd. Initially, the first time it hit the palate, this fucking hat. There we go. That's better. Get that forehead out of the way. Massive heat. Right. Yeah, I soaked it in water just to keep it a bit cool. It's not too bad now that sun's gone right in. It's still a bit muggy here. I don't know about where you are, but it's kind of a bit muggy and warm. Where I am, I'm kind of a little bit sheltered from the sun once it goes over there, so it's cooled down a little bit. These beers have been in the fridge all afternoon, in fact, all day, pretty much. There's a sharp but not intense grapefruit-like earthiness, not really piffiness. Maybe that's the pink grapefruit thing. Maybe pink grapefruits are a bit sweeter, perhaps. But it doesn't stay. There's a little bit more kind of lemon kind of citrus in there. There's a little bit of sherbet knocking around. It's a little cloying without being dank. There's a little bit of spirity edge developing. Like I was saying about a lot of the double IPAs. I've been trying. I've been giving it a go. But you end up with that, or I end up with that kind of, not quite vodka and orange, but slightly vodka grapefruit juice kind of note. And I don't know if anybody knows what I mean about that, but there's that kind of sort of spirity edge with that higher ABV that cuts across the fruit juice, but there's a bit of dankness to it. Not really any sherbety sparkle, but definitely nicely sweet. I like the sweeter ones. Again, cuts through that dankness. Yeah, interesting. Again, I don't know enough about double IPAs because I'm really only just sort of trying them out a bit more. It feels like it might be another Citra kind of thing, but with some other more fruity, tropical kind of New Zealand hops to balance it out. It's got to be some Motueka or something like that. Right, Aoraki. Okay, reached dizzying heights at the peak of Aoraki with a fruity mix of fresh and juicy New Zealand hops. 3 hop varieties added throughout the brew, delivers flavors of tropical and stone fruits with a soft bitterness on the finish. Hazy, strong fruit, hoppy. Oh, here we go. Oh wow, okay. Motueka, Rasko, and Nelson Sauvin. Obviously, again, depending on those hop additions, feels like Rako's doing a lot of heavy lifting there, because being that we have a Motueka and Nelson, a beer on the bar, admittedly only 4.4%, it feels like a slightly different flavour, bringing a lot more grapefruit going on. I guess that piffy bitterness is kind of the stone bit of stone fruit. Does feel like a bit of nectarine there, I guess. And that sort of slightly sticky jamminess as well. Yeah. It's not one I should be boshing down in the sun, really. Like I say, I went to Wetherspoons and had that Lotus hopped beer. Hop I don't know anything about. And that was only 4.2, but I had a couple. And I had to cycle home, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to stop for a Twing Death or Glory after that. It's like, let's just go home. Go home and have a sleep. I've got a lot of things to do today. So it depends. And we were sitting in the sun as well. I wouldn't want to be sitting in the sun drinking this. That would probably go to the edge straight away, I think. It doesn't feel like it's approaching 8. It feels more like 6. But it has got that kind of vodka-y, kind of slightly spirity edge to it. I still don't know if I like that vodka edge on double IPAs. If it was vodka and orange, maybe so, but vodka and grapefruit juice, that's what it feels like. Nelson Sauvin, they always say tastes like white grape, and I don't really get it. Maybe that's a spirity edge, a bit wine-like. I don't really like white wine. They do good white wine in New Zealand, apparently. Don't really drink it that much, but did I say oats? There's got to be plenty of oats there. I can't see it, but there's a lot of Far Eastern rain, because I think they export to like Hong Kong and the like now. Let's have a look on the bottom. Oh, there was a little bit. It's just dribbled over my knee. I've now got a cold, sticky knee. Best before end 12/2025, but since I only bought them last month, that's no great surprise. In fact, I think arguably, probably, I've bought all of these beers this year, so they should, in theory, all be in date. Jimmy, how are your beers? Are they all in date? If you didn't know you had them, how long have they been sitting there? And what have you got on? What have you found? What are you sessioning on? And I guess it's too early for Paul and Shark to be having a beer. What was I going to look at with this one? I'm not going to look at Vocation website, because we looked at that the other week. But yeah, cooling down a bit now. I wouldn't say these are the best beers to be having on a summer session, mostly because of that kind of dank edge. Bit of a gamble, but you know. Yeah, good time to have a beer. Just can't drink at work. Fair enough. I'd like to say I know how you feel, but I don't, because often I do. And I'm sort of allowed. Sort of, yeah, I want something juicier with more fruitiness and not that kind of slightly dank, kind of slightly bittery edge. For me, bitterness doesn't equate to refreshing. I know some people think it does for some people's palates, but just not for me. However, it's getting a little bit dark now, so it doesn't apply so much. There's a relatively easy drinking note to that, but that grapefruit edge kind of, doesn't, it just doesn't work for me. I kind of fed up with saying it, and you're probably all fed up with me hearing it, but I say it anyway because I just say it as it is. But yeah, as double IPAs go, it still looks like a good beer. There's reasonable conditioning on it. Some good flavours. Obviously, they've done some good work on the hop additions. I mean, it's a good beer. It's just not really my thing. There's a little white wine thing going on there now. Maybe that's where the grape is. There's a little bit of kind of lime thing going on as well. That citrus has gone heading towards sort of lime zest, which I don't generally mind, but it's fighting against the grapefruit for me. Maybe just all citrus on my palate just tastes like grapefruit. No, it doesn't. I had a really good lemon beer the other day. New out. A lemon sour is back. This time with the addition of elderflower, which I'm not sure makes enough of an appearance, but it's a really nice lemon beer. So hopefully that'll be on the bar at the weekend. I'm back on the bar at the weekend. Following week, allegedly, whether it happens or not, I may or may not be having another visitation. And a few beers. It's Vocation. You wouldn't try it. Okay. I said this the other week when I had the other Vocation double IPA that I got in this box. I tried it because I'm sort of really aware that I keep moaning on about grapefruit and double IPAs and whatever. I should try them, but I know I'm going to talk about grapefruit, and it's like I don't think it's a bad beer. Just don't suit my palate. Other people who like hot bombs, will go for that turning point quite happily. I think. I wouldn't say it's. Often use the term balance, that all the flavors are kind of singing together, and because it's edging towards grapefruit, I'm not sure it's necessarily balanced, but there is a lot of different kind of flavors to pick out. Do you know what? Two Flints, undeniably good brewery and well thought of, but a lot of their stuff I just haven't. I don't know. It's just how I drink. I drink differently, don't I? I see a beer that piques my interest, and I have slightly odd, not weird, but just slightly odd interests. Well, weird adjuncts, I suppose. Japanese, not weird. Two Flints seem to be. I mean, I would not have looked twice at this beer, generally, if it wasn't for the fact I was buying some other Vocation beers because I really like that one. So I've got a couple of others and that to make the box up. So I've took a punt on it. It hasn't entirely worked. It hasn't. It's been good. I've still got a couple to go, so they'll go in a stream at some point, and we'll see a couple of darker ones to go. I need to hypnotize you so you will think grapefruit is something else. This way you will love the beer. Yeah, the trouble is, if you do that, you might as well do it for everything. That wouldn't be me, would it? You know what I mean? It's like, I want to be real, bro. I want to be real. I don't want to be real. I just am. I don't know. That's an interesting point, though. Could you just hypnotize your way out of any old stuff? I know somebody does hypnotherapy. Funny enough, in Australia. But I don't know if I'd want to. Can I just... You might as well just hypnotize yourself to love everything. In which case, why don't you hypnotize everybody else? Do you know what I mean? It's like if you do that, just hypnotize everyone in the world not to be a twat. I don't know. Why don't we hypnotize you to like smoked beers, Shark? That's why we don't hypnotize everybody. Hypnotize the entire population into being good people. Maybe that's what I'd do if I was a dictator. If I get to be a benevolent dictator, I don't go around taking people out. I just force them to be hypnotized into being nicer people. I don't necessarily know whether I agree with that. It's an interesting point of view. Could be an interesting experiment. If you could also hypnotize me into choosing the winning fucking lottery numbers, that would be great. I'm taking big gulps of this, not because I really, really like it. It's just because I really want to get through it, which is not really a good thing. But yeah, it's not the beer or the brewer's fault. I don't think it's Vocation or a bad brewer or bad brewery. It's proper chunky and drinkable. Like I say, the smoothness, the oats doing a lot of heavy lifting against those. Unusually dank, I would say, for Kiwi hops. Unusually dank. I mean, even some versions of the one we do, the very pale, with Nelson and Motueka, have occasionally a tendency to go a bit dank and a bit grapefruity, but generally it's tropical. And even when it does go like that, I happily wash back a pint of very pale. So, it's like you say, it's the beer that we do very pale plus a little bit. So it's drinkable enough. It's just not massively pleasant for me, but I think it would be for everybody else. I'm going to knock that back and move on. It's not one I'd go back to particularly. If I saw it on tap, maybe I'd have half just to check the balance on it, as with the Turning Point one, but it's not one I'll rush out or rave over and enthuse about. Like some of the beers I've done recently, I don't know why I'm looking at those three, they were generally fairly forgettable. Interesting. There was loads of interesting notes to it, but it wasn't massively enjoyable, that one last week. I struggled to get those reviews out today, really. But yeah, just got through it. At the end of the day, much like this beer. Cheers. That was beer 2, Vocation Brewery's Aoraki, 8% double IPA. Good little beer for an 8%. Bosh through it. If you're on it, it's one in the mix. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, cheers. That's the key. I just suddenly realised it's not so grapefruit that it's making me proper wince and not get through it. It's soft enough. It's sweet enough. It's got enough about it to be just about drinkable. But that kind of stone fruity, bittery, earthy grapefruit dankness. Yeah, it's not my thing. It's not my fault. It's not their fault. It just is. So, just for checks and balances, I think I'm going to move on to something on a bit safer ground. On beer number 3. Now, beer number 3, you might have seen from the thumbnail, I don't expect anybody to know anything about, so I don't. It is, as you can probably guess, Japanese. Came out of that Japanese box. Oh, I got a couple of months ago. Kind of fits in here because Japan landed a rising sun. The flag is a big red rising sun. So I thought I'd do it because I wanted something to balance off two possibly juicy enough but two dank beers. It is indeed. It is called... Well, I'm not sure what it's called, to be fair. I've gone with black because it's a 5% Schwarzbier. The brewery, and I'm going to probably mispronounce these. I do need Rampant Lion's help with this one, but he's far too busy. I did ask him, but he's far too busy. No problem. So I'm going to call them Karuizawa. Don't know. My Japanese is not fluent enough, but that's what the thing is. Karuizawa. It's a 5% Schwarzbier. The word "the," I'm sure they have a word for "the" in Japanese, but the rest of this is just the brewery name. It says black underneath there, and lots of other writing we'll get into in a minute. So yeah, it's a Schwarzbier, a black lager, dark lager. Let's get it. That seems oddly. I'm going to take that away from the laptop just in case it goes. No, it's okay. Just me getting a bit too worrying. So yeah, pours into the glass. Quite fizzy. Looks a little Coca-Cola like there, which worries me slightly. But it's a black lager, so we'll give it some beans and give it quite a lively pour. Fizzy kind of bubbly head. Again, going to be difficult to photo this one, so I'll go straight into the photograph. I'm just going to steal a previous photo reminder. And get into it. I'm going to put the laptop down again because it's going to be black and dark and difficult to go. I'm going to get that one closer to the light. I mean, it looks good as a Schwarzbier. Nice black lager. Very difficult, I think, to photo. A little bit of light bleeding through there, so it's not fully black. It's more kind of reddish brown. Hasn't focused. Would help if I could hold the camera steady, but I can't. Oh, that's terrible. Right, I'm going to have to do this way. Hopefully I don't ruin. No, it's not going to work. I need a separate tripod or something. Not bad, not great. There's a red tinge coming through there now. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to lean on top of the camera to try and keep it steady. Don't know how that looks from your end, but yeah, there we go. You can make that out. That's good. That'll do me. Nose is holding up all right for now, for a change. But yeah, so a black lager, quite light for a black lager. There's definitely a lot of red, kind of dark reddish kind of notes going on there. It looks fairly black on the camera though, so that's fine. But yeah, I know nothing about Japanese beer. I got these beers on a bit of a whim. I'll have a look at the website in a minute and see. Maybe I can see why. Got nice and dark outside, so it's nice and dark in the glass. Cheers, or I guess Prost. I should know the Japanese for cheers. I try to specialize in remembering different language options of cheers, but if you know it, do let me know what it is in the comments. But for now, cheers and Prost. This is Karuizawa Brewery in Japan. I think it's called Black. That's a 5% Schwarzbier, so coming down a little bit from the ABV on the last one. Cheers. Nice. Earthy, slightly muddy kind of roasted notes. Yeah, plenty of roasted kind of. Yeah, definitely roasted, slightly woody notes coming through. A little bit of coffee. Not much on the chocolate, but yeah, nice roasty kind of note on that. Cheers. Let's get it down. Yeah, I'm on much safer ground here. I know what I'm getting. I know where I'm at. It's much nicer. Don't have to worry too much about the hop. There is a little bit of bitterness there, but that's more of like a dark roasty coffee bitterness. It is very light. I'd say that's when I was talking about stouts last week being a bit thin, but being a lager, that's where the thinness is fine, but it's still got that good roasty note. On a stout, I want something much thicker and smoother and softer. This is quite smooth, to be fair, despite that thinness. Nice head development. It's kind of staying. It's a bit bubbly and dissipated, but staying a layer on the top of that. Yeah, nice roasty note. A little bit of black coffee going on. Good sweetness. There's no kind of savoury note going on, but there's some good sweetness there. Nice, yeah, just a nice dark lager. Say the dark lager we did actually ran out at the weekend. It was more of a Czech Pilsner lager. It was with the malts from the stout, so that was a nice balance between dark but a bit of lightness on the body. This is kind of hitting the mark, really. It's a good Schwarzbier. It's got that thinness and lightness of a lager with some good coffee notes. I don't like cold coffee generally unless it's in beer, but it's not coffee. It's just that roastiness of coffee beans. Not much smokiness on it, on that roast. Slight wood smoke, woodiness. It goes a bit Coca-Cola with the sweetness. A little bit kind of herbal, vegetable kind of oil note. But yeah, nice, really nice coffee edge, roastiness. It's all there. It's really good. I don't know how good Japanese beer and brewing is. There's obviously a massive kind of emerging craft scene in Japan. I don't know what come before it, but on this show and in the previous ones I've had, the Japanese beers, even that one the other week with that sweet potato amber ale, it was really nice. This chair's uncomfortable. Really nice, balanced, good flavours going on. This is good. Like I say, normally I'd be a bit like, what is that, kind of red tinge and a bit of thinness, but the flavour carries on. It's almost like a red ale there. The light behind it. So it's a really good go. Really good. I think the other day, and this is what I forgot to do the other day when I had that sweet potato beer, let's talk about where I got this from. I got this from this website called Yutaka Shop Online. Obviously do some good importing of Far Eastern food and beer, to be fair. Mainly Japanese, but also a bit of Korean. As you can probably see on the left there, a bit of sake, which I don't really dare go for, to be honest. Sounds A pricey and B killer, but yeah, some really interesting beers and good prices. I'm not sure about that sign that says buy 4 get 2. I think what that meant to say is buy 4 get 2 free. So you buy 4 get a 6-pack. For a 350ml can, by the way, so slightly bigger. A lot of interesting stuff. I like this brewery name. Far East is the brewery. Again, replicating a lot of what you might think as more Western styles, blondes and IPAs. Also, a lot of dark stuff. I think I got that one in, actually. Karuizawa. Yeah, I think I got that one in as well. Another dark ale. So I guess not a dark lager. So yeah, I've got that one to come. But yeah, a lot of really good, just random stuff. I've no idea whether, as far as I can tell, these are all kind of independent breweries, not like owned by big brewery, apart from this Asahi. I'm guessing the Orion is. I don't know. There's that one I had the other day, the Koido. Imperial Sweet Potato Amber Ale, which really intrigued me. I had that on Weird Beer Wednesday the week before last. Because sweet potato, when do you see that in a beer? Just really intrigues me, to be fair. I've got a couple of other Corrido ones. There's no IPA and a Pils. I got the Corrido. I'm sure I got the Corrido Black Lager. So that'd be an interesting, maybe a comparison with this one when I do that. I got the Hefeweizen. So I drank that one on a stream the other month. Yeah, but I saw it just randomly on Instagram. They were doing a bit of a deal. So you target online. If it was in the UK, there were a whole bunch of snacks as well. Obviously, a bunch of noodles, but lots of crisps. Random stuff. I just picked up a load of random stuff. I have no idea what they are. Made the mistake of buying some ice cream accidentally, which melted on delivery, so don't do that. It's probably not worth it because it's going to sit in a courier van, especially in this weather. Little Moons, I think you can get in Tesco. They look really nice. I've just never got around to buying them. But anyway, yeah, back to the beer. It's just, yeah. Either I've lost comments or nobody's commenting. Do let me know if you're still there and just listening to me waffle on, because I can't see any new comments. I have no idea what's going on. If you are watching this after the event, also do comment afterwards, please. Really helps me to know whether anybody's actually watching afterwards. The numbers are good. See what happens, really, innit? There's a new thing on YouTube. The community tab, I think, has changed a little bit where you can ask questions directly. So you can do it on there. Haven't quite worked out. I only saw it up today. So if there's anything you want to ask me or give me any suggestions, I think you can do it there now. If, like Dave Wilson, you want me to do a Carlsberg special brew, which I never thought I'd say. Yes, give me suggestions like that. If we could do better suggestions than Carlsberg special brew, I might still do special brew. I've got Carling to do as well, somebody said on a community post. The whole thing about that is it just lets me know people are, if you're not interested, you can just do random stuff and I'll reply generally. I found a bunch of comments I'd not replied to from a couple of months ago. So I did that today. Just to let you know, I'm listening, and I appreciate comments and likes. There's a button especially for that. I don't do that. Click like and subscribe bullshit like everybody else does, but I'll maybe do it once or twice a stream just because you're meant to. But for me, it's all about live beer reviews and just saying what I feel about the beer. And if y'all like that, then I'll keep doing it. I say we're on show 88, closing in on show 100, so we'll do something special for show 100. This beer is really nice. I really like this. As Schwarzbiers go, it's kind of hit the mark. That head development has kind of stayed down the glass. Not a lot in way of lacing, but it still looks in good condition. Let's have a quick look at the can. They've had to put an English sticker on there with all the details on as befitting. I did notice the other day this earlier. I'm not sure about the ingredient list. All the usual stuff just says hop, doesn't say what. But it also says rice and cornstarch, which worries me a little bit. That's a little bit like natural flavorings in my book. This beer doesn't suffer for that. Still got plenty of good flavors. Oh, here we go. Right, so I bought this, 3 months ago maybe. Best before the 31st of May 2025. So, as befitting Russ, I nearly got the name wrong. As befitting the channel, there's always going to be one out-of-date beer, which will please Shark no end. I can't read Japanese, so I can't read that bit. Can't read anything else in the ingredients. But it does say on here, and I will have a look at the website in a minute. Karuizawa, it does say a beer that carefully captures the gifts of nature from Karuizawa Karuizawa's refreshing water and crisp highland air. So somewhere up in the Japanese mountains. It says the Karuizawa beer Asama Mesu. The crisp, clean breeze from this brew. No, sorry. That's difficult because around the beer name, which I think is black, they've got writing that doesn't follow. The crisp, clean breeze of Karuizawa can be felt from this brew, made with precision, made with precious water running beneath Mount Asama. Right, so mountain water. To be fair, it is actually pretty crisp. That's a good point. It definitely helps. Nice water profile, really crisp, clean lager. With that kind of sweet, it gets increasingly sweeter. That kind of coffee note, nice roasty note, and really quite a nice, enjoyable beer. As the sun's gone in, it gets a bit darker. It's a little bit more warming. Oddly, the most refreshing beer of the night, despite all that fruit and grapefruit business going on. Really, really strange. That a dark lager should be that refreshing, but it's a lager, so why not? And the flavor profile helps with that refreshing because I like that kind of dark note. This is the brewery website. Just quickly, do translate a bit in English, which is good. Not necessary, but helpful for overseas development. Got a load of different beers. Let's have a quick look, see what they've got. That's the lineup. All these beers have got that Japanese on with the name of the brewery. Again, clean, crisp artwork. Looks good. Pilsner, Golden Ale, Amber Lager, a dark Amber Lager. Here's the Schwarzbier, so let's see what they say about that. Yeah, it's just called black, I think. I think all the basically the name of the beer is the kind of the style. Hop bitterness. I don't think there's a lot of hop bitterness. I think that's more malt, that coffee kind of bitterness. More hop bitterness and sweetness with roasted coffee aromas coming from chocolate malt. Exactly. A lot of people think that chocolate malt gives chocolate, but doesn't. It gives that kind of roasty note. They've got spider diagrams. I like spider web diagrams. Brew York do that, and I think, if I remember rightly, last week when I looked at, was it Yonder? Yonder did a kind of spider diagram as well. Can't find it now. Anyway, yeah, I like a spider diagram, except all the spider diagram on this one seems to be strong on everything. They say crisp, and it's only at 3 out of 5. Bitterness is difficult because I think it's the coffee bitterness. Aftertaste is lovely, definitely a 5 out of 5. Harmony is not one I've seen in a spider diagram before. Aroma, yeah, it's strong, I said, didn't I? Nice bitterness, coffee aroma. 5.5% in a 350ml can. A really nice beer, to be fair. Worth trying if you fancy trying something a bit different in terms of country. Maybe don't see much Japanese beer in this country, but the one on that website, as I say, from Yutaka Online, obviously do the imports and stuff like that. So yeah, a solid lineup of beers tonight. Not necessarily two of my favorite. My favorite has definitely been the Schwarzbier, obviously. It's a dark lager. What's not to love? Mercy Piers, good morning. It must be, yes, it is morning. Guess you're having your morning coffee. I'm having a late night coffee with this Schwarzbier from Japan. Almost over where you are. Probably too early for a beer for yous. I hope you've recovered from your meeting with Sammy the other day at the weekend. I caught some of that stream after the event because I was just solidly working when you were recording it up the brewery because we had an event on. So yeah, good morning to you, Moseybiz. Hope you're having a not too hangover filled Thursday as it is now. It's just like still Wednesday night here. But yeah, greetings. I'm gonna knock this back because I've only got a mouthful. To be fair, a really nice beer, Schwarzbier, from a Japanese brewery. I don't know a lot about. Karuizawa, I'm going to say, a 5% Schwarzbier. Just got up. Some beers last night, last full day today. Flying. Wow, that's gone quick. Really quick. Everything's going quick at the moment. Racing through this week. My week's all like all over the place because I went into work on Monday and Tuesday. I don't normally do that, and we brewed. We had a long day on Monday. Not only brewing but packaging, cleaning, and making space for it. But yeah, so it's been a different week. It's been fun. And yeah, more to come at the weekend. So yeah, thanks for popping in, everybody. Hope you have a great week. I'll try and get one up tomorrow night. I couldn't do one Monday and Tuesday. I didn't even get home till about 10 o'clock on Monday, and it's fairly late on Tuesday. But early hours of Saturday, fair play. Indeed, yeah, superb. Yeah, so I'll try and get one up tomorrow as well. I think I'm going to try and do something Friday, but I might be back at the brewery, and then who knows what's going to happen at the weekend? Who knows what'll happen the weekend after? Because I might be getting a visit. So watch out for that one. I'll take probably the laptop up the brewery. Might get a live stream away. Who knows? We shall see. Yeah, it's been it's been an interesting evening. I've been some good beers. They've been all drinkable. This has been my favourite from Japan, funny enough, the Schwarzbier. I've been Disco. Thanks for watching. If you're watching after the event, please let us know. Comment down the bottom. And for the second time tonight, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And until next time, possibly as early tomorrow, have a great one. Have some good beers or not. It doesn't matter if you don't. And yeah, cheers. Enjoy the beers. Nice.